covering the High Plains with news, weather, and information. From TV 23 Studios in Sublette, this is High Plains Today.
Hello, everybody. Hey, it is Tuesday, September 26th. Holy crap, the month is about over. It is still 2017, though. Welcome to High Plains Today here on TV 23. On today's show, I'll be joined by Mark Mingenback. He is a vice president with SunPorch. Now, they are taking over the Good Samaritan residency in Dodge City, and we're going to talk about all of that. In the meantime, let's take a look at what's going on. The probe by Great Bend attorney Alan Glendenning has led to more issues at Dodge City Community College. The investigation, which was handed to Dodge City Community College Board of Trustees a few months back, has a former administrator perhaps looking at criminal charges. Now, the department the former administrator ran has been told to repay $8,900 to the Carl Perkins Federal Grant Fund after the investigation pointed to improper payments using the fund. The Kansas Board of Regents investigated 5 separate trips to Colorado involving several faculty members and students. The 5 trips were from 2009 through 2015 and were listed as mountain rescue courses. A new analysis of the state's Medicaid program, CanCare, found recipients with mental illnesses often face barriers to getting the care they need, and it served as confirmation to some health advocates who have previously raised issues about the program. The study found CanCare recipients with serious mental illness had a hard time getting information about their coverage, acquiring needed medications, and finding some providers, especially specialists. CanCare was also cited by the Federal Centers for Medicare and Medicaid earlier this year for not adequately overseeing its provider network and ensuring the system had enough health care providers. And Dodge City Community College and Fort Hays State University are partnering to bring education bachelor's degree opportunity to Dodge City. Beginning the spring semester of 2018, the Dodge City Community College Teacher Education Program is partnering with Fort Hays State University in an agreement that would allow current and future DC3 education students to obtain their bachelor's degree from Fort Hays State University while maintaining residency in the Dodge City area. Now, the hybrid program will offer face-to-face as well as online learning opportunities with the potential for all classes to become face-to-face. The program will be open not only to new students, but to the existing students as well. The Kansas Department of Corrections has extended an officially declared emergency at the El Dorado Correctional Facility that can require employees to work up to 18-hour shifts. KDOC declared an emergency at El Dorado last month because of persistent staffing shortages. In a letter dated September 18th, the department notified the Kansas Organization for State Employees that the emergency declaration would be extended for 90 days. Now, the El Dorado prison has struggled to maintain adequate staffing levels, spurring a need to have officers work long shifts. As of earlier this month, 87 of its uniformed officer positions were vacant. And how does 70 degrees sound for rodeo weather? That's what they're forecasting for this weekend when the Dodge City Roundup will be hosting the KPRA Rodeo Finals. What a perfect weekend to be outside enjoying some of the great entertainment. Now, tickets are $10 or $25 for all 3 days. The Shoot 9 Saloon will be open, as will the concession stand. And that's a look at some of the stuff that's happening out there. Be back with a look at the forecast. Yeah, it's going to be cool today. Maybe warm up towards the end of the weekend. Be back with all that after this.
You're watching High Plains Today on TV 23 with host Chris Jewell. TV 23's internet service and 4G live streaming provided by United Wireless. Coverage you deserve. Service you expect. United Wireless.
You want to feel connected, at one with your world. Informed, included, and inspired. So no matter where you are, when important things happen, We're here at all hours, in the moment, on every screen in your life. Your local TV and radio broadcasters. We investigate and inform, give back to the community, build the local economy, even save lives. America's #1 source for news, weather, and information. And unlike any other news source, we're here. 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 And here. We are broadcasters, always here for you, wherever here may be. Text TV to 52886. Tell Washington local stations matter.
Separate raw meats from other foods by using different cutting boards. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Just think, what if we didn't have local TV and radio? Where would I go for local sports, local politics, a mayor, city council, stuff that affects me every day? How about health? Who's covering things that endanger my family? I need to know now, as it happens, from sources I trust, people in my community. No agenda, no bias like you find on cable and social media. Just facts. For news I can trust, I stay local. Support your local station. Text TV to 52886 today.
The local weather forecast for the High Plains.
And as we look off to the northeast over the metropolitan area of Sublette, you can see there's a lot of clouds out there today. It's kind of cool out there too. 51 degrees right now. It's not going to get much warmer either. 92% is the relative humidity. Winds are out of the north at 12. Barometric pressure is on the rise. So look at the current temps around the viewing area. Everybody is in the 50s. Even get over to the eastern part of the viewing area around Pratt and Medicine Lodge, they're in the mid to upper 50s also. And it's pretty humid everywhere because those dew points are pretty close to their current temperatures. Looking at the winds though, you get out to Lamar, a little variable now. There is a high pressure that's trying to push these clouds out of here, but it's not going to do a very good job today. Everybody pretty much in the teens. It's not going to be super windy, but the winds are going to stay northerly out of the northeast. Looking at the highs and lows as recorded at the Garden City Regional Airport. Hey, we got 67 yesterday. 96 for the record back in 1990, 51 when you walked out the door yesterday morning, 32 back in 1961. Yesterday, including all the rain over the weekend and everything, they had almost 2 inches in Garden City. I think they had more like an inch or so down around the Liberal area. Plains had well over an inch. So yeah, it was pretty widespread rain and we needed it. Here's what's going to happen today. Yeah, it's not going to warm up a whole lot. I think I told you this yesterday. 61 is going to be the high today. Winds are going to be out of the northeast at 10. And then tonight, yeah, it's going to cool down even more than it did last night. 46 for the overnight low. Winds are still going to stay out of the northeast at 10. Then tomorrow, we do have a 20% chance of some showers around the viewing area. 66 for the high. Lots of clouds. Winds are still going to be out of the east and a northeasterly direction at about 10. Then tomorrow night, that chance of rain still hanging around. 49 for the overnight low. Winds will still be out of the east-northeast at 8. Looking at the 7-day as we get into Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you can see they've taken out the chance of rain on Saturday. It's going to be pretty nice. Partly cloudy, 73. 79 on Sunday. 79 on Monday. We're getting some of those summer-like or Indian summer-like temperatures back. 20% chance of rain on Wednesday, 30 on Thursday and Friday, and then no rain on Sunday, but we do have another 20% chance rolling in on Monday. That's a look at the weather. Back with the markets and Mark after this.
Life's a little different here in Southwest Kansas. We do things our own way with a can-do spirit and strong family values, which means we treat people right, and we want the best value for our dollar. The same is true about United Wireless. We aren't like the national brands. We treat our customers like family. We provide excellent service and simple, easy-to-understand plans that will save you money. We are United Wireless, and we are Southwest Kansas proud.
When some people struggle with their mortgage payments, they become frozen, petrified. Not knowing what to do, they do nothing. But the people who do something, the people who take action, are far more likely to get the most positive outcome. Making home affordable is a free government program. Call now to talk one-on-one with a housing expert about the options that are right for you. Real help, real answers, right now.
Something I feel when I'm right here. Something that tells me that I'm home. This is the place. Everybody here knows it. This is the place. Oh, it's home to me and you. Yeah, this is the place.
Watch these magnificent honeybees, staying busy pollinating the world and making honey while they do it. But these bees are suffering. The Wi-Fi in their hive is slow and buffers constantly. They struggle to watch their shows on Netflix and surf Pinterest. Bees hate that. So what do you do if you're a buffering bee? You switch to Pioneer Communications, who offer 50 megabit internet that's as sweet as honey. They've made the jump, and so can you. Pioneer Communications, your community connected.
Cook foods to the right temperature using a food thermometer. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
I used to think news is news. It's all the same. But it's not. There's a big difference between local broadcast news and cable news. See, local stations are part of my community, connecting me to local news, weather, and sports on every device. It makes sense. Get the news from the people I trust who actually live here. No agenda, no bias like on cable shout shows or social media, just facts. For news I can trust, I stay local. Support your local stations. Text TV to 52886 today.
2 outs with a runner on first base. Now the big guy comes up to bat, hitting .342 with 92 RBIs and 36 homers.
Chill raw and prepared foods promptly. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
And I'm back, and I'm joined in studio today by Mr. Mark Mingenback. He is a vice president with SunPorch. Now, on Sunday, October 1st, that's this Sunday, you are going to be taking over the Good Samaritan Senior Assisted Living Center, and it's going to become SunPorch Dodge City.
SunPorch Dodge City.
Okay, did I get that right? Boy, I really messed it up in the open
Thank
today.
you, Chris. Happy to be here and appreciate the invite to come and share about SunPorch.
Okay, so anybody that's familiar with the Good Samaritan Center in Dodge City, on Sunday, this October 1st, you guys, it becomes SunPorch Dodge City. It's not Good Samaritan anymore.
That's right.
All right. So are we gonna see any huge changes or anything like that come Sunday?
No changes. As I mentioned earlier, sometime in early October, have a new sign will be erected out front. What we're really excited about is the fact that the employees are transitioning to our employment this week. We have a great team. Good Samaritan has developed an extremely competent and compassionate team in caring for the elders that live in our facility, and we're excited. We've offered everybody a new job. In fact, Ryan Salinas, the current administrator there at the facility, he's decided to stay with us. And so administrative function all the way through management, all the way through the workers that provide the direct care to the elders, it's not going to look any different.
The only thing that's basically going to change at this point is sometime during the month of October, you're going to put up a new sign.
A new sign, right.
All right. So let's talk a little bit about SunPorch, though.
Okay.
All right. Because I know you are a Kansas-based company.
Right.
You're not for profit. And this is not the only facility in Kansas that you guys are managing or running, correct?
Right. And I would say to answer the question of what is SunPorch, John Grace, our president, founded SunPorch back in 2009 with the idea of providing care for elders in rural Kansas. Now, what does that mean? Well, in rural Kansas, what we're finding out is there's a lot of facilities that need assistance and support in going forward with many of the future requirements of long-term care. Regulations have become much more strenuous, and as an example, these small facilities in rural Kansas need help with some of those details in being compliant and clinically appropriate, and allowing the team there in each site to focus on caring for the elders. So that's our mission, and this relationship with Good Sam is allowing that transition to occur, and we're going to be taking care of the elders as of Sunday.
Okay, but you have a long-term goal in place for the Good Samaritan Center,
we do.
Correct?
Yes, and I'm glad you brought that up. The long-term goal is obviously we'll continue managing and taking care of the elders in place for now. And within 2 to 3 years, we are planning to build a new facility, and we're going to be building the new facility on something called the Greenhouse Project model. And if you were to look at a Greenhouse Project model, instead of being significantly institutional in its delivery and appearance, you notice how most all nursing homes look like a hospital.
Right.
Because they were built around the hospital model back in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. There are now 230 greenhouse organizations in the country, and basically a greenhouse is focusing on small homes. These homes have between 8 and 12 elders per home, and if we need more than 8 to 12, we will build, in the case of Dodge City, we plan to build 4 of these homes in a cul-de-sac right next to each other. And when you walk in a greenhouse, you walk in the front door and the first thing you see is a beautiful living room with a fireplace, and then you look to the right and there's a big harvest table where all the people eat at a big harvest table.
Okay,
and
so
then,
and we're looking at now.
Okay,
this facility this is one of y'all's facilities, correct?
This facility here that we're looking at now is what we've designed for Smith Center, which is in the north part of Kansas.
Right.
And we're hoping to start building this either late this fall or early next spring.
Okay.
And the reason I'm showing these pictures in this May is because when we develop the Dodge City facility, they will be virtually
similar,
identical.
right?
Yeah, similar, fair to say. We're looking at the interior of what it would look like in Dodge City when we build a new facility.
All right, so and now those pictures represent way less. I don't want to say sterile looking environment, but when you talk about a lot of these long-term care centers and those types of things when they were built 30, 40, 50 years ago, that's what they looked like. Well, they have the wings with the long hallways and doors on each side, and there you go, right?
Right. In rural Kansas, the average nursing home in small communities in Kansas is 35 to 40 years old, some of them up to 50 and 60 years old. So they're all institutional, and in the studies we've found, we have to bring back care to treating the elder like they're part of our family, and respect them in the choices they have in the latter part of their life, and have it in a home environment because it is their home.
Well, yeah, it's like the old stigma of, back when I was growing up and you were growing up, it was like, oh, we have to put grandma in the nursing home.
Yeah.
And that was, oh my gosh. And when you were a kid and stuff, you didn't want to go there to visit.
No. And what happens is we all say, don't you ever put me in a nursing home.
Yeah. Take me out behind the barn and shoot me before you put me in the nursing home.
And that's unfortunate. It's sad, but a significant part of our population is going to be needing some type of senior care. And with 79 million boomers retiring, I think it's 10,000 people a day are retiring. Well, those people are probably now managing the care of an elder, possibly their parents, but they're also looking at, well, what's my future look like?
Right.
And when you look at a greenhouse, people go, I could live there.
Yeah, you look at this, now this is a greenhouse, correct, that we're looking at?
That would be the front, obviously the front approach. It's been designed so that natural light comes from three directions.
Okay.
Because there's a relationship between natural light and good mental health for all of us, in fact, but for elders specifically. It's really important to get as much light as possible.
Yeah.
Natural light.
And it gives you a much better feeling, and I know that people are going to, you have what? This is a common area?
Yeah, what this is the courtyard between two of the homes.
Okay.
And again, outdoor activities are extremely encouraged when appropriate, when the Kansas weather permits. Having people out on the patio, that in the canopy there, cooking out, grilling, having outdoor activities, just sitting in the sun and watching
family members, you've had family members over, they can gather in that area.
If you notice in that picture, there were raised gardens. Well, here again, a lot of the residents are gardeners. And if they have an opportunity to continue to garden, well, there's nothing better than, let's try to grow some tomatoes out there and have them ourselves. We'll harvest them, we'll bring them into the kitchen. And even if they're in a wheelchair, that's no problem. Finding a way to allow them to have the daily activities that they want to have, and they've always had.
That they're used to.
They're used to. And then, of course, their families feel extremely validated in helping them have made this choice.
Well, and their families know that they're being well taken care of.
Right, and that's huge.
Thing,
if you've ever had to deal with an elder, we talked about your parents. It's a tough time, and there's a role reversal in finding good care for elders and what you're going to do with them, what you're going to do with your parents.
Okay. So people, we're about out of time, but so people can look at on August or October 1st, Good Sam becoming SunPorch of Dodge City. There's not going to be any giant, huge changes in the beginning, but changes are coming, and they need to keep an eye out for them, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We're looking forward to it.
Thanks for coming by.
Hey, Chris.
We're going to talk more about this.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right. And where am I? Here I am. And stick around. We'll be back with a little bit of sports right after this.
You want to feel connected, informed, included, inspired. So when important things happen, we're here. Your local TV and radio broadcasters. America's #1 source for news, weather, and information. On every screen in your life. We are broadcasters. Always here for you. Wherever here may be. Text TV to 52886. Tell Washington local stations matter.
Just think, what if we didn't have local TV and radio? Where would I go for local sports, local politics, a mayor, city council, stuff that affects me every day? How about health? Who's covering things that endanger my family? I need to know now, as it happens, from sources I trust, people in my community. No agenda, no bias like you find on cable and social media, just facts. For news I can trust, I stay local. Support your local station. Text TV to 52886 today.
Did you know kids who play outdoors have healthier lungs? Totally.
I did. Did you know that boys that play with dolls make better husbands?
My son has lots of dolls.
But did you know terry cloth diapers breathe better?
I did.
It's totally true.
Oh, yeah.
Did you know that strollers have the right of way on the sidewalk?
Yes.
Yep, I did. Did you guys
Did you know that kids who eat breakfast have higher GPAs?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. That's actually what I was going to say.
Did you know babies should never touch silver? It's really bad for them.
I knew that.
Did you guys know that statistically friendly kids have more friends?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's obvious.
Did you know most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right seat at the right age and size. Visit safercar.gov/the right seat to make sure your child is protected.
I'm putting that on my blog.
I just put it in mine.
The Dodge City Community College Conquistadors, well, they fell to Butler Community College Grizzlies Saturday. And that's in football, by the way. Losing 24-10, the Conks entered the game ranked number 15 in the NJCAA rankings and on a 3-game winning streak, while Butler entered the game ranked number 14. Butler is always tough. And the Garden City High School girls tennis team adjusted to blustery wind. Imagine that in Kansas. And on Saturday, they claimed the Buffs Invitational at the Garden City High School Tennis Complex. The Buffs won their second tournament title of the season that day. And last night, the Dallas Cowboys, it was a rough first half if you're a Cowboys fan. They came from behind last night in Arizona to defeat the Cardinals 28-17 right there in, I think it's University of Phoenix Stadium. All right, let's take a last look at our weather before we get out of here. Hey, it's warmed up 2 degrees, 53. Relative humidity has gone down 91%. Winds are still out of the north, though, at 11. Barometric pressure is holding steady. All right, as we roll into the 7-day, though, you can see we do have a chance of precipitation tomorrow and Thursday and Friday. Highs are going to be in the 60s, lows in the 50s. It'll start to warm up into the weekend, though. 73 on Saturday, close to 80 on Sunday. You have another chance of rain on Monday, but, you know, all is good. All right, go out and have a good day, everybody. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
Keep up to date with the latest information from TV23 on our Facebook page, KDGL TV.
Something I feel when I'm right here. Something that tells me that I'm People are people around here. That's how it is. It's so clear. Letting it show. I've been around the world only to find what I already know. This is the place. Everybody here knows it. This is the place. It's home to me and you. Yeah. This is the place.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
Lead paint poisoning affects 1 million children today. If you're pregnant or have young children and your home was built before 1978, you could be at risk. Learn how to protect your family. To find your home's danger zones, the health effects, or just to find help, log on to leadfreekids.org.
OZT. Portions of TV23's internet provided by SWKO Wireless Internet. Covering the High Plains.